And what you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also.
Ah, Philip.
What is it?
About Bartholomew's confession.
Maybe you can get him to confess.
I do not believe my prior can do more than you could, Henry.
Perhaps he knows he will die, no matter what he says.
Please excuse me.
Of course.
Tomorrow, the king will announce his decision. Until then, they won't allow a simple monk like me into the keep. I wonder how much of a Christian Stephen really is. Bishop Henry said Bartholomew is in the jail. Where was that again?
Bartholomew and his followers would have only been the first wave. Robert of Gloucester remains, and he will attack.
And that's what you keep telling us. Maybe because the king likes to hear that you share his worries about Robert of Gloucester.
Robert of Gloucester wants to see his sister on the throne. He will attack. And the Welsh will fight on his side. You mark my words.
How could you let her get away? That little bitch.
I will find her, Mother. She was here? Why?
To see her father, of course. But that won't help her. She has already made a fool of you once. Don't let it happen again.
No, Mother.
Good day.
You come to visit someone in my jail, Father? Or do you want to pick out a nice warm cell for yourself?
How dare you?
Oh, I'm just pulling your leg. See? A smile, just for you, Father.
Bishop Henry sends me.
The bishop, eh? What does he want?
He wants me to talk to Bartholomew of Shiring.
Bartholomew of Shiring? Ha! It's only Bartholomew now. It's his 4th day without bread. Soon he won't even be Bartholomew anymore.
Bartholomew, I am Brother Philip. We have never met, but I am responsible for your fate.
No one ever chose my fate for me. I choose my fate.
Your conspiracy, was it really worth dying for?
Stephen sent you. Why would you side with the usurper?
If you talk, they might bring you food.
You are not the first to offer me that. Why should I confess to you?
Your people found refuge in my priory. Your confession will help me to give them work and shelter.
I have no sins to confess. My only regret is that I failed.
I will not tell the king that. They will kill you.
They have already done that. Monk, tell them that I confessed.
To what?
All of it. Treason.
But...
The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father. Tell Stephen that as well.
You... know the scripture?
Richard and Aliena, my children, they must live.
And a good day to you too, Father.
Monk, it's about time you showed up.
Huh? Regan Hamley? We have not been formally introduced.
You are a fool. Is that formal enough for you, Monk? You don't understand any of this, do you? It's as if
You'd
you've
better
never
call
set
me
a single
Father.
foot. How you let yourself be used by those two greedy bishops, I'll never know. Ugh. Waleran wants the lands of the earldom for himself. Henry knows that. Say something. You don't believe me,
You are
do
only
you,
worrying
Monk?
about your husband's land.
Well, of course I am, and you should be too. If Waleran wins, we both lose. I know you don't trust me, but your bishops are
you have
no
a way to-
different from me.
Prove any of this?
Ride with my son, William. Just a few hours. I will prove to you that Waleran will betray you.
All right. I will ride with your son, if only to prove you wrong.
Very well. Maybe you're not a fool, after all. But do not let the bishops see you. William,
What?
ride with Father Philip. Do as I said.
William Hamley declined to tell me where we were heading. He enjoyed keeping me in the dark and forcing me to follow his lead. Sometimes he sped ahead on his warhorse, and it took me some effort to catch up. But sooner or later he would stop and wait, sneering as I rejoined him. On one occasion he stood there urinating against a rock. When I caught up with him, he turned without covering himself. He found my shock at his shameful behavior comical. He laughed, got back into the saddle, spurred his horse, and rode off. Again I followed, hoping this journey had not been another horrible mistake. Near a bridge, I found William with a group of washerwomen. He was shouting at them. When I arrived, I could only hear their replies. They said that they had not seen a girl or a boy fitting his description. A younger, blonde woman said that even if she had seen the girl, she would not tell him. Apparently, she had heard of William Hamley. William grabbed the startled-looking woman by the arm. He shoved his right hand under her skirt. She started crying. The other women asked William to stop, but were afraid to anger him. William turned and grinned when he saw me approaching. When he heard my words, William's grin faded. He pushed the young woman away. The other women looked at me in a strange way. They must have asked themselves why a monk would ride with such a man as William. We rode off, and William stared at me full of spite. I told him I pitied him. I did not tell him why, because I had no words for it. We did not talk after that. Not for a long time. William talked to more strangers along the way. First, I believed he was asking for directions. Then I realized that money was changing hands. William was paying these people for information. I was glad that for now he had lost interest in hurting others. Then I saw an old woman pointing William to a bearded man on a horse. William called the man a horse thief. Then he grinned and signaled the puzzled man to get on his horse and ride with him. They rode faster and faster, and I could not hear what more they talked about. William bluntly threatened to have the man hanged for stealing a horse of his, and then ordered him to hunt down the real thieves in exchange for his life. The man laughed as if he had made a great bargain. William even paid him. Before the man rode off north, William mentioned a name. Aliena. And I prayed that whatever William's plan was, that it would fail. Then William waved at me to ride faster. I reckoned we had to be close to where Lady Hamley wanted us to go. Not long after, my stomach turned as I realized just where exactly we were bound. Just a moment.
What?
You know very well that Bishop Waleran is in Winchester now. So what are we doing here?
No idea. Mother never tells me anything. She treats me and Father like damn children. It's a wonder Father ever got to fuck her in the first place. But here I am, and I'm starving. Damn, I'm starving.
Where are you going?
In there.
No!
I'm sure the bishop would want to see me well fed. We won't be staying long, so whatever it is you gotta do it fast. How can I help you? How about you step aside?
Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even be here. Waleran's palace can't be why I'm here. Can it? The answer might lie somewhere beyond this gate. What is that? Is this why Regan Hamley thinks that Waleran wants the lands of Shiring for himself? He is the bishop. He can do as he pleases. Perhaps he's just building a guest house. No, it is too big for that. What in the name of Christ is he building out there?
You! Please! You were here before, weren't you? Yes. I remember you. Philip, isn't it?
Yes.
Please, you have to help me.
What happened?
He forced me to serve him food. He took the Lord's name in vain, and he pushed me and touched me.
Oh, God.
Ah, the monk. Oh. Did the boy call you? So what? Did he ask you for help?
He didn't have to say anything. I knew you would get us in trouble.
Trouble? Me? We're young men, he and I play rough. So what? I asked you to leave.
And that is what we will do. What will the bishop think of your behavior?
Listen, we're all on the same side here.
We are not.
You, me, him, we're all working for the bishop. He won't mind. I play rough, so what? We are all men of God.
You are a sinner.
So what? Everyone is. The bishop told me. But my sins are forgiven.
Why would you think that?
I took Earl's castle for him.
Your parents agreed to arrest Bartholomew because they wanted his earldom.
Who cares what they think? I felled Bartholomew's men with my sword. The old man was begging me for his life. On his knees, he begged me. I did it for the bishop. But hey, I'm sure you did great things for him as well. You think my father took Earl's castle?
I pity you.
Again? You dare to say that again? You pity me. I pity you. You're not a man. Neither of you are.
We are men of God.
A man kills, and a man fucks. And no one talks down to me. No one! I know you saw me and that whore at the river. I would have fucked that woman if it hadn't been for you.
And what would that have achieved?
She'd have learnt her lesson. And don't you think I noticed how you spied on me and that horse thief? I should kill you for that. I should. Let me tell you, I will fuck Bartholomew's whore of a daughter. I will fuck her good. I'm a man! Damn it, I'd fuck the boy if that was the only way to put him in his place. Hell, he looks like he'd enjoy it too.
Not even God would forgive those sins.
Of course he would. He already did. The bishop told me.
Then the bishop is wrong.
Hey, we're on the same side here. Now, we will stay here a while longer, as I've not finished eating. Shit.
If the bishop finds out about this, he will not be pleased. Throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
What?
Hell. It is a depiction of hell. I told you of heaven and hell once before. Do you remember?
Of course.
The bishop said the relief intimidates even his most impious visitors. They all fear death.
I'm not afraid to die.
Do not fear those who kill the body. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell.
Who's he?
The devil. A fallen angel.
I have nothing to be afraid of.
The cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars. Their souls are the devil's. They will all go to hell.
Stop it! Hell is far away. I'm not afraid.
It looks so alive. Perhaps the artist has actually seen the devil.
Are you afraid? It's just stone. Hell is far away.
We should leave.
I'm not done here yet. We stay. Stop staring at that thing, all right?
It looks so alive. Perhaps they are.
Are you afraid? Hell is far away. Make him go. I want him to leave. Now!
I better put it back and tidy up the table. There, that looks better. No, I already tidied up here. And if anyone's name was not found written in the Book of Life, he was thrown into the lake of fire.
What's that?
It's from the scripture. The end of days.
The second death of the sinners.
Bishop Waleran said that if a sinner stares into the flame, the devil stares back from the lake of fire.
What?
I can't see him. What is it?
We ride back to Winchester. Now!
What happened?
Maybe he saw things to come.
How can I thank you?
Tell me, what is being built out there?
What?
A substantial construction is underway, it seems.
Yes, but
What is it?
a castle. The bishop is building a castle.
A castle? Why a castle?
I don't know. It is not for me to ask or question the bishop.
Of course.
And I doubt it's for you to question him either. That man, William, had no idea why you two came here, had he? You came here to spy on the bishop. You brought this man here. Leave! Go!
There you are. My son seemed thoughtful when he returned.
You priests and your talk. You'll always get to him.
He seemed more excited after talking to your bishop, though. Then again, we know Waleran is good with words. Don't we, my husband?
Of course, yes.
Speaking of Waleran, what did you find, monk?
A construction site.
Ah. So Waleran has a building project of his own. Did you also find out what he is building?
A castle.
Yes. He is building a castle for himself. And he used up every stone and every tree on his own lands. He claims he wants Bartholomew's land for your cathedral. But what Waleran was is a castle.
He's always been like that.
Not long ago, you accused us of being selfish. But what about your bishop, eh?
What do you want from me?
As Prior of Kingsbridge, you will agree that my husband shall have the whole earldom of Shiring.
And why would I do you a favor like that?
Because we will support the rebuilding of your cathedral with our stones and our timber.
The king can live up to all of his promises, and Waleran gets nothing.
That is our offer. What do you say?
I agree.
Ah. Did you hear, my husband?
Yes, you said he'd agree.
My husband will let the king know of our agreement. Bishop Waleran will be quite surprised. You will see his true face when he does not get what he wants.
No need. We said all there was to say. He confessed to everything, but he asks for clemency for his children.
Good. I will let my brother know what we have achieved today once he returns from the hunt.
Good, Philip. You did well.
Would you not rather build a castle, my bishop?
What?
A castle like this, I mean. Do you not find this place remarkable? Winchester Castle?
Of course. It is.
About Bartholomew's children.
My brother was never one to judge a man by the deeds of his father. Still, I shall mention Bartholomew's request to him.
Maybe I should come back tomorrow.
Yes, there is not much a monk can do here.
Yes, your bishop and I will do what we can to help your priory.
My loyal subject, Percy Hamley, today becomes the Earl of Sharing. Of the former Earl's possessions, Percy shall have the castle, and all the land that is tenanted to knights, and all farmlands, pastures, forests, and quarries.
I swear by all that is holy to be your liegeman, and to fight for you against any other.
My king...
Ah, yes. Of course, I have not forgotten the worries of my bishops. The Earl of Sharing himself, Percy here, solved this problem for me. Thanks to him, I can uphold my promise. Don't worry, Bishop Waleran. Kingsbridge shall be rebuilt. Percy told me of a man here whom my brother has not yet introduced. Come forward, Prior.
My brother, may I present to you Philip of Gwynedd?
My king.
You seem afraid. What are you worried about?
I'm worried about my priory and the cathedral.
I heard about the fire. How are you managing?
On the day of the fire, God sent us a builder, but we cannot pay him.
Don't worry, you can. Now, about the arrangement between you and Percy Hamley. He told me that he wants to support you in financing timber and stone for your new cathedral. I wholeheartedly agree with the plan you two have devised. It shall be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
It seems unnecessarily complicated to give the land to the bishop. Percy told me that you, Father Philip, share that sentiment. He told me it was your idea to take up the burden of managing the rebuilding of the cathedral yourself.
Wonderful.
I'm glad that we all were able to help you, Bishop Waleran, in this pressing matter. After all you have done for me.
Thank you, Lord King.
Bartholomew lost everything in his attempt to end my reign. This morning he was found dead in his cell. I've heard that you, Prior, worry for his children, Richard and Aliena. While they shall lose their status, their name, and their land, they shall go free, wherever they are.
You must be very proud, Lady Hamley.
Of course. Father Philip has been very understanding in all this.
Yes, he is remarkable. Very remarkable.
My husband and I were terrified when we heard about the fire in Kingsbridge. It is a blessing that we can help him and his priory now.
You sowed the wind, Philip.
Is everyone ready? Yes, everyone will be there. But how are we to pray and contemplate like this? I don't dare even to send my choir out there.
We shall get used to it, all of us.
We must be thankful for all of this, for each noise, each face that disturbs us here.
We shall start with the chancel, then gradually work our way from east to west. That's the way it's done, the way I was taught to do it.
I value your enthusiasm, my dear Mason, but so far we're only cleaning up. I haven't even considered hiring a master builder yet, neither you nor anyone else.
May I show you some drawings?
By all means.
You look here first. Imagine you're standing in the centre of the nave, looking at the wall. This is what you see.
Are those windows?
Right, but that's not all. Starting right in the middle is the tribune gallery. On the lowest level are the pillars of the arcade. They're joined by arches making up the bays. Through the archways you can see the windows in the aisle. Shall I go on?
Yes, of course. I was just thinking. Keep going.
If you were facing the cathedral with the front wall torn down, you would see it like this.
Interesting. What's that, coming out from above the entrance?
The walls of the nave are held by the aisles and buttresses bearing the pressure from the side.
Very interesting. Now, tell me more about the construction on top. The nave is very high, isn't it?
The nave will be about 32 feet high and will appear even higher.
Drawing the eye heavenward with its loftiness.
Well said. A chamber worthy of God.
Held together by the aisles and buttresses. Splendid.
That's the tower, of course.
I thought so, but why is it right above the nave? Shouldn't it be closer to the transept?
Oh, don't be fooled. The tower is, of course, farther back, but one cannot show depth in a drawing.
Ah, of course. How high will it be?
Twice as high as the rest. It makes for quite an awe-inspiring view.
It also sounds very expensive. What about the other drawings?
When we walk around the site, we mark where the walls will be, the pillars, the doors and buttresses. Now for that we need a plan like this, to tell us where to place our pegs and string.
Is this how birds would see our church?
Exactly. The nave is on the left. It has 6 bays.
And the chancel?
The chancel will have 4 bays. I can see the transept is 2 bays wide, so it will be 12 in total. It does look splendid, but isn't that rather small? Well, can you afford to build it bigger?
I have trouble affording it at all. Percy Hamley would support us with timber and stone, but how do we pay the workers? But only God knows if it will be enough. I don't suppose you have any idea how much this would cost.
I know exactly how much this would cost. It would be no more than £3,000.
I've spent the last few weeks working out the annual income of the Priory. Here's the answer. £300 a year. And we spend every penny. Go on now, show me the rest of your drawing.
Let me tell you more about the walls. I haven't told you everything about the floor plan yet. If you would look at the second drawing again. You recognise the aisles?
Of course. I've been in quite a few churches in my time.
Did you know then that their purpose is to support the nave?
Yes, you already mentioned it. Fascinating. I must say, you do know your craft, Master Builder.
Let me know when you've decided on the tower's height.
Well, first, I have to decide if you are even the right man for the job, haven't I?
On top are the clear-story windows.
I can see you have put a lot of thought into this. I was just wondering, how long would this take to build? You can take your time with that answer.
Well, that depends on how many people you employ. If you can afford 60 masons, you could build the whole church at once instead of working from east to west. That might take 8 years, maybe 10.
I wish my monastic officials had your ability to think ahead and calculate. So, I need to find £200 a year. It doesn't sound so bad when you put it that way. You really want to build this cathedral yourself, don't you?
Yes, Father. I want you to appoint me Master Builder.
Why?
Because he wants to teach people awe.
Is that so? Then answer me this one last question. If people were to enter your church, what image would they see crowning the tympanum above the entrance? One of Judgment Day to teach people to be good, or one of paradise to remind them of God's mercy?
Show them hell, so that they're afraid to do bad things. I'd rather see trees and animals.
It should be a promise that evil will be punished. Therefore, it will show the day of judgment.
This is quite exciting, isn't it, brother?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Francis.
I'm just glad that I can be a part of this. In the past year, I was often afraid that my involvement in politics might turn out, well, let's just say that I'm glad that I can still be by your side, Philip. And for that, I thank God, and I thank you too.
Papa, will there be statues inside? Statues?
Oh. That's enough, children. It's time you went out and played. Prior.
Yes?
My first wife, Agnes. She died without a priest, and she's buried in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes a man builds a chapel, or founds a monastery, in the hope that in the afterlife God will remember his piety. I just wonder, do you think my design might serve to protect Agnes's soul?
God no longer asks for blood sacrifices, for the ultimate sacrifice has already been made. But the lesson of Abraham's story is that God demands the best we have to offer, that which is most precious to us. So you must ask yourself, is this design the best thing you could offer?
Except for my children. Yes.
Then rest easy, Tom Builder. God will accept it.
Jack, do me a favour and give Paul these herbs, will you?
But he's a monk. You don't like monks.
Well, it turns out not all of them are bad. Still, be careful before you trust any one of them.
There he is! Give our prior the welcome he deserves!
Oh, you know, I am only following God's will.
Prepare to raise the bell! Make the prior proud!
Well, thank you.
Go on, Jack. Don't forget about Paul's herbs.
Where have I seen that woman before?
What do you want? I don't get why Tom likes you, you useless little turd. For all I know, you were behind that fire. What? What is it?
I could set fire to you if I wanted to.
Oh?
I'm leaving now.
Uh-huh.
This is from my mother.
Oh, bless her. Boy, whatever Remedius says, your mother is a saint. Oh, is that the bell? Can you see it from here? A bell without a cathedral. Your father certainly had strange ideas.
It might be. What's a bell?
Excuse me? You! I remember you. You're the boy with no father.
Actually, I have 2 fathers now.
Is that so?
Yes. Tom Builder and Jack Sharebug.
I thought you weren't the builder's son.
Well, I am now.
I have to say, Prior Philip told me there would be a lot of sheep here. I can see he wasn't exaggerating.
You know Philip too?
I do. He's the reason I'm here. Is he around?
He should be around somewhere. Busy man, that fellow. But don't worry. You probably won't have to look for him for long.
All right. Thank you.
Shall we go after them?
No. Now we know where we can find them.
Ha! Ho!
My bishop, William Hamley, has returned to see you.
Send him in, Timothy. We have much to discuss.
Next time on the Pillars of the Earth, find out what happened to me and my brother Richard after the siege of our father's castle. What will the future hold in store for Kingsbridge? The Pillars of the Earth, Sowing the Wind.